as the words Calamity Multiverse, Gameverse, date of happening, in between seasons 1 and after season 2's Earth adventure. As the sound of a cassette tape being inserted can be heard. As the view shows the Monster Hunters LLC office in the downtown GMOD-Verse. As the sound of a door opening can be heard. As the view reveals Komodo, aka the Burger Man, as he says, "Why hello, will there be any other one of your representatives joining us today?" As the nicely dressed man sits down, "No, not today." Komodo, shrugging, says, "Okay, fine with me." So, what kind of business does Playtime Co. want with us this time? I thought you guys were, dead in the water after all the craziness that happened with your factory I heard about. We don't talk about those. All you need to know is we are here to pay for results. As Komodo says, "Someone say money?" Now you're interested. We need you and your company, if I remember, Monster Hunters LLC. As Komodo says, "Yep. The only monster hunting company this side of the Gameverse." And I can tell. Monster hunting isn't that much popular of a, gig. As Komodo says, "Yep. But I've lived in the GMOD-Verse my whole life. So, you kinda get used to the monsters, to be honest." Yes, I can tell. We need you to go to here. Hold on, isn't that the old Playtime Co. factory? What the hell would you guys want us doing there? Be aware, you better not tell anyone about this. As Komodo looks down at his drawer, spotting his underbarrel, spotting his grenade launcher. As Komodo says, "You really don't want to threaten me." We don't want this getting out to the public, but the rumors of the living toys inside are all true. As Komodo says, "Whoa. You guys have living toys in there?" "Yes, and we need to kill them." How do you didn't you guys have like people in there? What happened with them? Well, from what the warden told us. Warden? What, you guys have a whole prison in there? Komodo says. As the guy looks at Komodo seriously. "Oh. Well dang, you guys actually have prison down there. What else you got down there? A whole lab where you turn children into toys?" As the guy glares at Komodo again. As Komodo says, "Well, sheesh, I'm on a roll today, guessing your little secrets." As the guy looks unimpressed, as if that's a bad thing. As Komodo says, "So what are you trying to say?" "We need you and your competent friends." As Komodo looks at him like he's crazy. Semi-competent friends. Spy cakes and beautiful OB, to all go in there and kill all of them, or at least capture them and bring them back to your bank. I don't know, just run a bank that you store monsters in the basement of. As Komodo says, "Wow, you're on a roll guessing things just like I was." As the guy just rolls his eyes. "So can you do it or not?" As Komodo says, sure, as long as we're being paid. As the guy annoyed says, if only bankruptcy is... If it's not like we're bankrupt or anything. As Komodo says, exactly, so you should be able to afford to pay us properly. Otherwise, we might just take up that offer of keeping them things. As the person in the suit looks nervous. As Komodo says, that's what I thought. As Komodo signs the paperwork and says, we'll get it done. Thanks for doing business with Monster Hunters LLC, as well as Monster Hunters LLC, sponsored by the DJs. As Komodo walks out, and the view shows a parking lot where personnel get into military-grade vehicles. As a bee says, so Komodo, what's on the agenda for today? As Komodo says, we're going to Playtime Co. factory. As Komodo hopes to put a crate of weapons in the back of an armored vehicle. Get Spy Cakes. Me and Spy Cakes take the Audi. As Obese says, wait, what about me? As Komodo says, you don't mind riding on the roof, would you? As Obese says, again? As Komodo says, I ain't letting you stink up my car again. As OB says, fine. As Komodo says, now come on. As he pulls out his grenade launcher, and OB pulls out his dual popcorn pistols, which yes, indeed shoot out popcorn. As they get in, a spy says, so Komodo, what's on the agenda for today? While he looks over our manifest, as Komodo says, we're going to the Playtime Co. factory, Spy. Some suit-wearing guy wants us to liberate the toys that they were live toys in there. Well, I don't know what kind of toys he wants us to take, but we'll figure it out. The spy says, I've done research. I think there's like these little small gremlin toys. What do we do with those? As Komodo says, you're right. Shoot those. I think the bigger bodies are what we really want to get. A spy says, okay, and well, DJs need to know about this. As Komodo says, text CM DJ. He's the only one who needs to know about this. As a spy says, and are we violating any human rights with this? As Komodo says, they're toys, not humans, so we're good. As spy says, okay, good, because that's all I need to know. As Komodo then pulls up to the factory, followed by all the military-grade vehicles. As Spy says, okay, people, as he hops out. As everyone looks at them, as Komodo says, we are gonna be breaking into your childhood toy factory to steal a bunch of monsters that may or may not kill you. As all the guys don't look like they don't want to be there. We'll give you all a $10 Floor Mart gift card as compensation if you lose your leg. As they all begin cheering, because apparently inflation is even worse in the game-verse than in real life. As one guy says, I can buy you home with that. As Komodo says, probably not, but good to dream. As the view shows them entering, guns raised. As Komodo says, remember, bigger bodies alive, little ones we can. As a small Huggy runs at them, and one of the guys shoots it dead. As the demolitions expert runs up to the door, requiring a blue hand, and blows it open. As the view shows the inside, where Huggy is standing there, hand up in the air. As Huggy spots them, and in a panic runs over to a button, but one of the guys shoots him with a tranquilizer. But he presses a button which sends a signal down to both the game station and the play care. As Komodo says, they set off some sort of weird alarm. As one of the guys says, what do you mean alarm? As Komodo says, I think it's alerting the other toys of our presence. Come on. As they burst through outer doors, shooting the smaller Huggies, well, some people take away that large, bigger body's Huggy. As the view reveals, though, that that their men had already breached the game station as well as play care. As the view shows the play care, where Canap and the other smiling critters that were alive, as well as some other toys, look up just as a massive explosion destroys the glass dome, and a Calami-Tech VTOL assault lowers down. As Komodo, as Spy, who's riding in it, jumps down. As Catnap, with now who we know as Catnap and Dog Day Jr. on his back, begins running. As Catnap turns some corners, the sounds of explosions and machine gun fire emanating from behind him. As Komodo's men begin slaughtering whatever toys they can see. As Komodo fires off a grenade right at Catnap's feet, and an explosion goes off. As Catnap stands up and looks up at Komodo, as Komodo says, "Wow, one of the toys is actually trying to help one of the others." As Komodo, holding the grenade launcher, fires off another grenade, but Catnap hits it with his tail, and it explodes right next to Komodo, sending him flying. As Catnap manages to break his grenade launcher and run off through the factory, heading towards the upper levels. As Komodo, annoyed, says, "Get him! Get him! Get him!" As Catnap running comes face to face with a Monster Hunter's LOC soldier. As the soldier aims a weapon at them, as Catnap says, "Please, just let me get them to safety." As that guy just stares at him, gun in his hand, as Catnap says, "Please," as he holds out his paw. As the soldier looks back and forth, not knowing what to do. As the view goes dark and shows OB with dual popcorn pistols. As he says, "Open fire on anything that..." As Catnap runs forward, the guy who he was offering and asking if they could help him, riding on top of him, as he punches OB square in the jaw, sending him flying in the process. As OB and the guy become face to face, and OB aims the popcorn pistols at him, the sound of a gunshot being heard as Catnap runs away. As Catnap sees other toys being, I guess you say, captured by Monster Hunter's LOC. Catnap, looking around, sees Komodo and Spy exiting the building. As Komodo says, "Hop in," as I get into his white with a carbon roof Audi R8 or Open Rock Cypher. Getting in, they begin driving, Spy pulling out his massive Calami-Tech or Fusion Tech sniper rifle. As Komodo says, "Take the dang shot, Spy, do something." As Spy fires at Catnap's leg, causing Catnap to trip and slip and roll off a cliff. As Komodo and Spy exit the car, weapons raised. As Komodo sees CMDJ, with Catnap and Dog Day Jr., or the cartoon versions of them, in his hands, or in his arms. As Komodo says, "DJ?" As DJ hovers there in his Calamity form. As he gives Komodo a look, and Komodo says, "Okay then." As Komodo and Spy leave, DJ teleporting, not forward looking down to see Catnap plummeting to the river below. As Catnap hits the water, and the view goes dark, not before opening, with him exiting a canal behind a floor marked store, and he enters an alleyway. Wet, injured, and down on his luck, Catnap falls over, not before hearing the sounds of someone walking, as the view then reveals Savage as he walks in to the alleyway. As Catnap, unsure what to do, looks at him, and then the view goes dark.